Hello and welcome to assignment 3 where I'm presenting my research on universal healthcare system. So I have studied around 5 peer-reviewed paper, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about each one of them, and I will discuss their purpose, description, design, and implications. So I will start with the first one, which titled Civil Society Organization and Universal Healthcare System. The purpose of this paper is to understand how civil society is demanding for the basic healthcare access for everyone. And it the paper tried to describe how universal healthcare system is becoming a key component for providing healthcare to everyone, and civil society is demanding for it. The paper is based on various studies done on which reviewed various grassroots movement which believes that universal healthcare is a basic right for each and every citizen. And the result of this grassroots movement, the the changes are happening around the world, where you see certain countries, they're trying to move towards the universal healthcare system and trying to provide more and more access to the healthcare to their population. Now let's move to the next one, which title No Universal Health Coverage Without Primary Health Care. Purpose of this paper is to understand why and how primary care is foundation for the success of universal healthcare system. For success of universal healthcare system, it's need strong primary health network, because once everybody is going to have access to the healthcare system, they need to see the primary doctors. So that's the argument behind this particular paper. So this design is pretty much based on the paper done by the Michael Ritchie, where study was conducted to find out lesson learned from the countries who has implemented the universal healthcare system. And primary healthcare and universal healthcare system need to work hand in hand, kind of hand in gloves kind of system, where universal healthcare system goal is provide access to the healthcare system, and the primary care is supposed to serve those population who got the access to it. Let's move to the paper number third, which title Universal Health Insurance and Healthcare Access for Homeless Person. Under this paper, the author tried to study the Canadian healthcare system, which is the universal healthcare system, where people have access to the healthcare system by default, being universal healthcare system. But still, he found a pocket of people who are homeless, and they don't utilize the healthcare system, or they try to shy away from it due to the various reasons, due to their uh, financial reason or demographic reason, or they are kind of out of society being homeless. And so this study is just showcased, even being having a universal healthcare system, there could be other implications and other impediment to get the healthcare, even if it's available for you, but still people choose not to participate in that due to the some financial or mental healthcare mental reasons. And the next paper I'll talk about universal healthcare in Europe. So we all know that Europe has the one of the best, or they are the kind of model when we look at universal healthcare system, we look at Europe. But this paper described how Spanish government is moving away from true healthcare system to one where access to healthcare is dependent on like it's not depend on anything, but what they're trying to do is that it's based on their contribution to the social taxes. And Spanish government is trying to limit the healthcare to citizens who pay social security taxes. And as you know, the unemployment rate is pretty high in Spain. And if you're not employed, I'm not sure how you're going to pay the social security taxes. That means, in other way, they're trying to move these people who has the access to the healthcare to the go without access of it. And next paper is is the universal healthcare in India missing core determinants. So this paper highlighted as India is growing as India's fastest growing economy right now in developing nation, where they are thinking to implement the universal healthcare system. But they have some basic challenges before they reach to that level, such as food, lodging, water, sanitation, education, along with the healthcare. So the paper tried to highlight that if government is trying to implement the universal healthcare system, they need to think about the basics also. Well, how their basic fundamental needs need to be fulfilled before they can try to implement the universal healthcare system fully and successfully. Thank you very much. I hope you liked it, the paper which I've reviewed, and I'll be attaching the PowerPoint presentation which has a brief information about this and references to all the papers which I have quoted here. Thank you very much.